we cooking
Hi,
today?
Michael. So today we're cooking paella.
From Valencia.
Paella from
From Valencia.
Do you remember, Michael, how we met?
a Dutch bar in London.
Yes, we met at a bar in
This is a great
London.
story.
Do you remember when?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
The really interesting thing about it was Julia was soon to be transferred to America.
Yeah, the next day, the following
Yeah.
year. I told you I'm moving to New York, so you're gonna be my first friend because I didn't know anybody.
And we met in London.
Yeah.
And then we had we both grew up in Valencia. We had many common friends, but
We never met, and actually, where I used to in Valencia, the apartment was like 5 minutes walk from her apartment.
Mhm.
So, and we never met.
Mhm.
No, and then we met here.
Yeah.
Because through
met
friends, because I was renting one room.
And then we became roommates, and yeah. Michael, tell me, where did you grow up?
I grew up on Long Island. I was born in Queens. I'm basically a lifelong New Yorker. And I grew up on Long Island in Plainview and then Rosslyn.
Okay.
Then I went to the university in Philadelphia and lived in London for a while and had a New York apartment for many years.
Okay. I grew up in Valencia, where the dish is typically from, it's typically of Valencia. But I grew up in a small village called Palmera. It's in the countryside.
Palmera?
Palmera, like palm tree. So it's in the countryside, very close to the beach, 2 miles from the beach, so very, very close. I grew up in a farmer's family. Both my father and my grandfather used to grow, plant and sell orange trees. So I would say that's
Orange trees?
orange trees, yeah.
My father was a very prominent New York City construction executive, and my mother was purely a housewife. My mother was from Omaha, Nebraska, of all places, from farm country, from the big city in that part of the world. My father was from the Bronx. My mother's family left Spain during the Inquisition, so I have some...
Yeah, Sephardis, they are Sephardis.
Sephardis,
Yeah. How about you, Pepe? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in one town that doesn't exist really now, near Valencia. And basically, but I was not in this town too much. I grew up basically in Valencia because I want to study in Valencia. And then
Art.
art. And it was fine arts. But then God gave me a call and I became a pianist. And then God gave me a call and moved me to New York. And I don't know, I'm getting too many phone calls from God. The good thing about it is like the food, it was an important part in the culture. So that means that since you are a kid, you learn that food is not just, you have to try everything. It's not just like, I want this, I want that, no. You are educated in like trying everything and eating everything and evaluation. So in that sense, well, basically that is the influence. And then when I moved to New York, it was interesting because when I moved to New York, it was not fresh vegetables. So for me, it was a very incredible experience of markets.
Canned vegetables?
It was not. It was everything was in plastic bags, and so then I have to say that it has changed a lot because suddenly they start opening these places for 24 hours that then they offer fresh vegetables. And then the people start like having and cooking more at home and having more dinners at home. At least I did that. And that is it was a very good way to get new friends, having like good evenings. And
I think what, for me, growing up in the countryside, in a farmer's family, the biggest influence, and I still have this influence, is eating what's in season. And for instance, with the paella, we cook paella in many different ways, depending on the season. We cook one kind of paella or another one. So I still keep this. I only I go every week I go to the farmer's market and I buy what's available. And what's not in season, I will buy it. I try to cook as local and seasonal as possible. And this is the influence. This influence I got it from growing up. There were no supermarkets. It was just a little store where you could buy everything,
No, what happened is that the people didn't used to storage food. I mean, the
Right.
basic, yes, but for that the market in Valencia, for instance, the central market, is like a cathedral,
Yeah.
very large, beautiful, with domes, all ceramic and glass. It's a
Yeah.
very beautiful building. So, and it's something that is social.
That shows you the
Because
importance
also
of food.
people going there and asking what is good today, what is that, and changing. And so that was the tradition. Now, of course, has changed a little bit because, well, the people work. But still, I mean, the markets are very important to socialize and to buy everything.
I was privileged
Yeah.
to live in Europe for a while. One difference I noticed, Americans, food is not as an essential element of the culture.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think of American food, you think of hot dogs and hamburgers, apple pie, macaroni and cheese. European countries' national identity are so much more attached to among things their cuisine.
Yeah.
Is paella itself paella as a dish? So is it native to near Valencia or Catalonia, or is it more like a trans-Spanish dish?
I mean, but paella is known nowadays as a
Spanish.
national dish in Spain. But in Spain, nobody would say that. In Spain, everybody would say, paella is typical of Valencia.
It is.
It is typical of Valencia, which is Valencia is on the eastern coast of Spain, on the Mediterranean coast, and more specifically, paella is typical of La Albufera lagoon. And as you know, to harvest rice, you need a lot of water. So that's the reason, we eat a lot of rice paella is typical of Valencia. Paella is a dish we typically eat on Sundays and feast days, and because you don't go to school, families, parents don't work on Sundays, so the whole family gathers. So it's a family gathering dish, typically. The way we cook paella, traditionally, paella was cooked on a grill or open fire. We use orange branches or pine branches, open fire, with fire, and then we put this pan. It's called paella as well. So paella is both the name of the dish and the object we use. We have only 3 ingredients that are common to all kinds of paellas. One is rice, bomba rice. We like to use bomba rice because this kind of rice is less likely to overcook. We don't like to have overcooked paella. We don't want to have it undercooked, like risotto. So it has to be perfect cooking time. Extra virgin olive oil. This oil is produced by my brother in Gallinera Mountains. He has olive trees, so every year during the harvest in October, we gather, we invite friends, and then we all pick the olives, and then he makes this wonderful olive oil. And then saffron. 2 months ago in October, I went to Japan and China, Hong Kong and Shanghai. It was my first time in Asia, and I felt at home. First, the food culture, gathering, everything goes around food. It's the same in Asian culture. Everything is around food, Family gather together around food. They love food and they love rice. So that's one of the things that made me feel at home. And also the importance of family relationships.
When did you first cook paella?
Oh, that's a good question. I think,
How did you learn how to cook this?
I was always helping my father and
You?
my mother, of course. Always helping, but I got interested in cooking. First time was when I went to college. I was saying that I grew up in the countryside, so to go to college, I moved to Valencia. I rented an apartment with other friends. So then I started cooking, calling my mom. How do you cook paella? What's the proportion of rice and broth? How long? So I first became interested in cooking when I had to cook, for me and my roommates, my flatmates. How does it look? You see now with the red sauce? Doesn't it look beautiful? So Michael, we talked about differences in food culture in Southern European countries or Mediterranean countries and the United States. So very often people ask me, what are the differences, between Spain and the States or New York, between Valencia and New York? One of the differences is here, quantity goes over quality. In Spain, we don't eat that much quantity. We don't need to have the largest, the largest platter. We rather eat less and more quality. Second difference is that here there are no meal times. People eat all the time, everywhere. In Spain, in Italy, in France, you won't see people eating, like having lunch at 11 o'clock on the train. No, we have meal times, and then we sit down by yourself or with your family and friends. You sit down with calm, and then you enjoy the food and talk. Here every time when I see people eating pizza, walking on the street with a plate, walking and rice, I say, oh my God. Another difference is that in Spain, your parents choose what you eat. In America, kids choose what they want to eat. And it doesn't make sense to me, because adult people, your parents know what's good for you. We need carbs, we need vitamins, we need protein. So they choose, okay, see, you had this for lunch, you're gonna have this for dinner, but kids, you don't ask your kids, what do you want to have for dinner? No. It's the other way around. Growing up, I would ask my mother, Mom, what's for dinner tonight? Mom, what's for lunch today?
So much of America is based upon convenience. And really luxuriating, the eating of a meal goes against convenience, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then 10 minutes,
Cover up.
sit. Would you let it sit for 10 minutes?
Yeah, because when you cover up, then what happens is that the rice that is in the top,
On the top.
I mean, you keep the steam.
You cover it up.
The cover
Yeah,
up. The
with
typical
that,
thing is with newspapers.
With newspaper,
That
yeah.
was the traditional thing with the newspaper.
Newspaper.
Yeah. You
Because
cover.
then you isolate and then the steam goes up.
Yeah, but
and
that would cause the ink from the newspaper to fall to the fire.
Yeah.
And that is part of the
Of the taste. Okay, salud. So what do you think of the leaves?
I didn't try yet.
That's not.
This is something very unusual in
No.
paella.
I love it. I think it's good. Yeah. What do you think? You taste it. So really, thank you for coming. That was fun. I hope you enjoyed.
That we have
And
another one very soon.
yeah.
We hope that very soon we have another paella, no? Yes.
So thank you.